a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
That's right, Brandon Rhymes here, your local real estate economist of choice, helping you win in any marketplace here in Tampa Bay. We got a clothing drive we're going to talk about. We're going to discuss how to throw a coup in America. How would you do it? What would you do? DC Drano's got another great tweet that I'm going to read. Andrew Kuby as well, US Commercial Business Capital on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to talk about this bubble that's looming out there in the commercial real estate space. It's an extraordinary story. I think it's being overlooked right now. There's a lot of debt that's been restructured in the commercial real estate space. How will that affect banks, pension plans? A lot of these large funds have it in it as well, retirement plans. Andrew Kuby coming on the show. Jason Avery as well, longtime friend of the program. Avery Construction, Avery Home Remodeling on the show as well. We're going to talk about some of the challenges with construction as well as that commercial line of reasoning and thinking that we were just talking about. Also, a fifth bank failing that just happened. A lot of people, again, aren't touching base on that. They're not talking about it. So we've got a great lineup for you. Also, later in the program, Alex Lima, we're going to discuss this kind of an interesting story. Willie, the Texas rodeo goat on the lam, and he has been found. So kind of a funny, interesting story there we're going to get to here later on in the program. Before we do, we always like to feature our real estate listings. We've got a hot listing here at 2705 Via Murano, unit number 116 in Clearwater. This is a gorgeous condo, beautiful property here. One bedroom, one bath, 980 square feet. It's an exquisite Tommy Bahama furniture, granite countertops, blend of laminate and tile flooring, custom ceiling fan, spacious tub, fully equipped kitchen facility as well, and a beautiful pool. Look at that pool. It's almost like you're at a Ritz-Carlton there. I mean, just a gorgeous, gorgeous property here. 2705 Via Murano, unit number 116 in Clearwater. One of our hot real estate listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, Livian Coastal Elite as well. All right, we got another listing here, 757 Haven Place, number 757. This one's in Tarpon Springs, Pinellas County. Beautiful property here again. Hey, another affordable property, 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, just under 1,000 square feet. You have a kitchen that features sleek countertops, contemporary appliances, upgraded light fixtures for the kitchen and dining area. You've got new water heater flooring as well, and it's a great opportunity. You got a pool, access the pool and a large facility there as well. 757 Haven Place, unit number 757, Tarpon Springs. Beautiful property right here in Tampa Bay. And you can see all of our real estate listings online at PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
And yeah, I'm raising my glass to those saving our ass overseas.
That's right. Shout out to our troops, our veterans, everybody out there serving the country. We greatly appreciate you. And hey, do us a favor as well. Pull out your smartphone, open up your whatever app you use to get your podcast. We do have a podcast, a Consumer Quarterback Show. Just pull it up, hit subscribe and like, leave us a review. Greatly appreciate that. Also, YouTube. Go to YouTube and you can see the Real Estate Quarterback Show there as well. Brandon Rhymes Realty, Brandon Rhymes Realty as well. At CQB Show on Instagram, and B Rhymes, Brandon Rhymes 1. As well. All right, we got a clothing drive going on right now. We're doing some good here in the community, folks. We'd love for you to help us rally around for these children and these women in need. It's the Great Clothing Swap, organized by my wife, Lindsay Rhymes. So we need your help. The Great Clothing Swap of 2023 will directly benefit women and children in our area. Please consider donating clothing, shoes, and/or accessories, and any kind of longer wear. We are looking to collect 2,000 plus items for this event, so please donate, help raise funds as well for those who desperately need it. We're also accepting donations to help cover the hard costs of the event, as well as raise additional funds. 100% of the profits will be donated, and we have paired up with the Tarpon Springs Yacht Club, and Life is a Donation for this amazing event, Tarpon Springs Yacht Club as well. Our goal is to raise $15,000 and donate 30 plus bags to women and children in need in our area. The great clothing swap of 2023 will directly benefit women and children. You can contact the show, consumerqb.com. There's an email form there, consumerqb.com. And let's go right into our content now. So we've got Jason Avery joining us back on the program, a longtime friend of the program. Jason, talk to me about construction challenges, my friend.
I can tell you stories for days, Brandon. I'm glad to be on the show again. I wish I was sitting there in the studio with you. That's always a lot of fun. But I literally got stuck on the job site this morning. You know, that's just one of the curveballs of construction. So it rains a lot yesterday afternoon, and they make a delivery in a big, heavy truck, and it squishes the mud around and basically cancels out the driveway until the new driveway comes in later. And so what do you got to do? You got to stop, pivot, order a dump truck of gravel, and then you don't want to distract the guys from getting the job done that they're paid to do. So here you are. I'm the owner of the company, and I should be working behind a desk somewhere, but instead I'm out there shoveling gravel all morning. So we installed a temporary driveway to just allow construction to continue. But I tell you, it's an interesting story because in this particular job I'm referring to, it's a project for myself. We do 100 projects a year at Avery Construction. But my wife is a licensed massage therapist, wanted to open her own established brick and mortar up here in our area. Most of our work, construction's pinellas, Hillsborough, but up here in Hernando, we bought a piece of property. It's got a little house from the 50s on it. It's a 1,200 square foot rectangle. I mean, just should be so simple to renovate. Well, I bought that place last year, and I just got issued a permit last week after 9 months of submissions and revisions and additions to the plans. And it went far beyond the scope of work of just improving this building and making it move-in ready. I was already planning on updating ADA requirements, leveling out from 2 floor levels to 3 with the appropriate ramping inside and out, and widening all the doorways in the whole place, widening the hallway, everything to be as compliant as I should be for a commercial building, because that's what it's rezoned commercial, and we're trying to develop a commercial. But then what gets thrown at you that you're not expecting? How about site development? Well, the site's been here since, again, the house has been on since the 50s, but now they need drainage ditches that lead into a pond that doesn't exist, and then berms to catch the overflow from the pond. And then because you're going to have a parking lot with a driveway, well, now you also need a pedestrian walkway. And even though you're not really pouring any concrete or anything like this, you're just moving some dirt around, you can't let your dirt roll off to the neighbor's dirt, so you have to silt fence the entire perimeter and tree protections, and the list goes on and on and on. So, again, I did what, was asked of me, is putting into a plan. We're going to execute that plan. We're going to almost double the budget that I started with for this, project to get a business open. It'll open a year later than the initial schedule for it to open. And this is my own project. And I run a company that's really good at this stuff.
Yeah.
So,
well, it shows you, though, Jason, right? It shows you, in the world of real estate and construction and business, plan for the unplanned, and you got to have that budget in place. You got to have that money that's going to, last, and you got to take all that into account, don't you?
Entrepreneurialism is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
I would say that at times you are putting it all on the line.
Yeah.
So we overcome those challenges at Avery Construction every day. That's why we actually, last episode I was on with you, I was in the voting process for an award called the Best of the Best for the Tampa Bay Times, and they had I was in 2 categories, kitchen remodeling and bathroom remodeling, and we were finalists in both of those categories. And that'll be published later this month in August, and I'm very excited that we had a tremendous response of people voting for our company. Really made us feel good about ourselves and what we're doing. We're now in running again for a Best of the Best for general contracting, and that's by Best of the Bay. I believe it's a magazine that's out there. I saw an email the other day. They were trying to offer me an opportunity to be in a Best of Florida category even. So, even for a guy that knows what he's doing in this business, the challenges are real. I've been recently accepted onto a group called BCAG, and it's a group representing Pinellas County. And that's primarily where most of the work I do is. And they're trying to improve the attractiveness of the county for new development and big construction. But they've been challenged by this because of some of their overbearing regulations, specifically when it comes to like water drainage and storm water, events. And so there's a committee of people working on trying to, rewrite some of the rules and fall in line with some of the new rules that are going to be coming out by the state very soon to try and, again, eliminate some of that red tape. So I'm excited about what Pinellas County is attempting to do. And they recognize that it was a challenge and maybe a burden on people. The cost of construction in this area is more expensive, especially on that commercial level, because of some of these extra requirements. So I wish Hernando, my home county here, would adopt a few of those principles as well. But right down to, secret shopper programs and things they're doing to try and improve the permitting process. There's new challenges in permitting these days because of online submission. So, COVID happened. Nobody wanted to go into the building department anymore. They were shut down for a long time. So they had to develop that online submittal. And now it's going to stick. They're going to keep it because it is enhanced and improved many permits, like a roof permit, a plumbing permit, electrical permit, a standalone permit for one item. But when it comes to general contracting, it's a whole bunch of items. And when you don't have the same opportunity to sit down in front of a plans examiner and sort of explain yourself, it needs a lot more detail on the plan. It needs a lot more information submitted up front. And so with that, it's actually driving up costs of architectural plans for many of the clients that I'm working with. Somebody just doing an ordinary kitchen remodel in their house. You're going to take out some cabinets and countertops. Maybe you're going to move some lights and switches or shift the plumbing into the islands that you're creating. It's not major construction, but you used to be able to submit a generic plan with some notes, move the sink from here to there. And now you have to actually get architectural stuff submitted. You used to be able to knock down a non-load-bearing wall without any engineer on board. Now the permitting department wants the engineer on board just to certify that that's not a load-bearing wall. And so, again, just extra expenses that roll over to the consumer. I think probably in the later segment, I think you had some, we're going to talk about economy a little bit. And yeah, inflation is real. It's very real. I'm not going to sit here and absorb the inflation. It builds right into my price model. That rolls right back to the consumer. We're all getting hit with it.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Jason Avery, owner of Avery Construction, Avery Home Remodeling, and also a published author as well. He's written books and also has consultant business where he helps other contractors. We're going to take a quick break there, more with Jason when we come back. And yes, we're going to jump in. I'm going to play a clip from an economist kind of talking about the economy and what's happening with jobs, commercial debt, huge bubble in the commercial debt space. More with Jason Avery coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We'd love to connect at brandonRhymes1, at CQB Show. And we'll be right back, more with Jason Avery later on as well. How to throw a coup in America. This is a really cool chain of string of tweets from DC Drano coming up here as well. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, everybody, it's the Captain, Matt Bruce, and you're listening to my buddy, Brandon Rhymes, a consumer quarterback. Sell, Brandon, sell.
consumerqb.com.
All right, Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. A couple of hot listings here, and then we're going to get right back into this talk about the economy and our economist as well, and of course, Jason Avery Construction here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got a couple of hot listings I want to let you know about here in beautiful Tampa Bay. We've got a property on the beach, 861 Mandalay Avenue. This is a $1 million listing on the north side of Clearwater Beach. You're living amongst the stars there. Lots of celebrities living on that north side of the beach. You're about 200 steps from the Sugar Sand Beaches, dolphin-filled waters of North Clearwater Beach there, the Gulf of Mexico. 861 Mandalay Avenue, $1 million listing from the Platinum MVP team. 2 bedrooms, 2 bath. You got an open concept kitchen, sleek quartz countertops, gorgeous stainless steel appliances, crafted tiles, high quality fixtures and finishes, charming pergola, 900 square foot screened in covered patio, and again, steps from the sugar sand beaches of Clearwater Beach. Another listing that we've got that I really like is the Burger Road property, 3704 Burger Road in Lutz, Florida. $2 million on this property. Beautiful home, 10,000 square foot mansion, 9 bedrooms, 12 bath. You got no CDD there. Got an indoor pool area with a full bar, oversized deck, full tennis court, library, movie theater, sauna, 2 master suites as well. 3704 Burger Road in Lutz, Florida. You can see all of our listings at platinumcoastalelite.com.
This is God's country.
All right, and we have Jason Avery on the line here. Avery Construction, Avery Home Remodeling. I'm going to play this clip, Jason, and we'll comment on it.
So you have a lot of these high net worth people that are looking for jobs, can't find jobs. They're really struggling to find that. Unemployment, they say, is low, but obviously it doesn't factor people jumping out of the workforce and not even looking for new jobs. So I don't know if that 4% number is a valuable number to look at. And then, you just look at this debt bubble that we have, this massive commercial debt that's coming, commercial office buildings. No one knows what to do with these high rises in all these major cities. And that's a major driver of jobs also. You're talking hundreds of thousands of jobs in real estate. And then the banks, obviously, the big talk is still the banks. I know there was a lot of bank issues that happened earlier this year. There were a few smaller banks that merged. PacWest and California Bank merged recently over about a week ago. So no one's really talking about that.
Yeah, that's right. There was a fifth bank failing last week.
Yeah, so when you think about that, and I've got the construction number or the unemployment numbers right here. The seasonally adjusted initial claims was 227,000, an increase of 6,000 from the previous week's unrevised level of 221. So yeah, and a lot of these numbers are not trusted. The government trust is eroded. Of course, mainstream and corporate legacy media is eroded. Jason, what's your take on that clip there?
Well, so I, last year had my best year ever, and it seemed that mainly regionally because everybody's moving to Florida for our politics, but the remodeling business was booming, and I was hiring all year long. And it's not an easy process trying to find, a good talent out there. I'm in an industry that's dying for talent. Literally, the old guys are getting out of the business, and, kids don't want to go out there and manually do labor. They want to be designers. They think they're going to sit behind a computer. So I'm good at recruiting. I have 7-pronged approach, and I would find the people I needed. But then all of a sudden, the turn of this new year, the new sales opportunities thinned way out. And so all of a sudden I had to stop the hiring effort. I even had to lay off a few just to kind of expense check and keep things in line. And so I got into the remodeling business because it was a little bit recession resilient in that the customer who spends, $70,000 in one room of their house, it's probably not the last $70,000 they possess. I'm not really working with the people who had to get financing for it. So,
yeah.
They tend to still have money when times are tough. They just might stop spending it for a moment. And we really witnessed that from, I'd say from December really starting all the way until through June. And the people who would normally spend $30,000, $50,000, $80,000, they just kind of disappeared for a moment. They are all starting to come right back in July, maybe because the stock market was on a soar, that they started to start calling back. But in the meantime, the ones that we were entertaining and getting sales from are the people who are doing a project that's $150,000, $250,000, $500,000 on a residence. And so, this was the big money coming out to place still, but maybe just because they believe that it's not going to get any cheaper. And some people said, maybe I'll wait and see if the prices of lumber and the prices of, all these fixtures and materials with the shipping delays that are factored in, maybe all these things are they're thinking if I wait, it'll get better. And then I think that the real money, the smart money says, nah, it's just going to keep on going up.
Well, here's my take too. You know, when you have all these commercial buildings, these large high-rise buildings that are, and even malls. You look at malls. I know there's some repurposing going on in Miami and other large cities, but you know, large buildings, large spaces that are not being occupied by those office workers that used to go into work. They now are Zooming or working from home. You have flex, you know, a little bit of flex work going on too as well out there. But when you look at that, and could we and should we, if possible, repurpose some of those buildings into residential, where of course we all know, especially in Tampa Bay, I've got the latest stats here for Hillsborough County, for example, residential listings in Hillsborough County versus the sales. We're at an 88% absorption rate and a 1.14 month supply of inventory. So we monitor this every month, and this is what we educate our buyers, sellers, and investors on. But the need for residential living quarters is there. But how costly would it be to renovate a large building like that, Jason?
Well, the thing is the bones of it are there, the structures of it there. So to come in and rearrange the interior is not as bad as what people would think. Mm-hmm. And again, just going into those numbers, they said second quarter inflation was down, but we're probably going to see bounce back inflation specifically from the housing market, driven by housing. And so if the cost of the housing and construction is so much, and then you got big cities like New York that are struggling with, immigrants sleeping on their streets all over the place. Yep. People are flocking there. The immigrants are flocking there because of their sanctuary city rules. And they've already started filling their hotels with immigrants into where they're overflowing now, and they're starting to sleep in the streets. So why not take some of those old, structured sky-high buildings and refactor and make them some low-cost housing? And,
put the veterans in there.
People have griped about the cost of housing in New York for years and years. So if you're going to bring all those people to your city based on your policies, you got to give them a place to stay. Why don't you get that, affordable housing going on and invest into, gutting and refurbishing some of those buildings?
Yep, I agree. Get the veterans in there and not these immigrants. These immigrants need to be deported. So, but yeah, hey, we're almost out of time here, Jason. And folks, I want to urge you to think about this show as the hub of your financial wheel, your real estate, your business, your finance, your self-defense, all those different categories we cover. Reach out to the hotline. We'd love to put you in touch with Jason Avery or any of our other 50-plus show partners. 727-263-3707. Please call or text that line. I love every week having conversations with you guys, texting with you, and submitting the email forms at consumerqb.com. 727-263-3707. And Jason, how do you want folks to connect with you?
So if you're interested in talking about construction, it's just averyconstruction.com, Avery. If you're a contractor, you need cabinet support. I actually own a factory in Clearwater. That's designercabinetsllc.com. And my third final hat is I do coaching. I do consulting. I teach younger GCs how to budget jobs and price them right, and how to manage cash flow so they don't rob from Peter to pay Paul. And
good stuff.
You can learn more about that at construct-success.
Good stuff. Jason Avery, longtime friend of the program. Thank you so much. All right. Hey, coming back with Andrew QB, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital, coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.